Good morning. It's December 14, 2023. It's a Thursday. Dalawang tulog na lang. Kukubra na kayo. A lot of you I know are looking forward to Christmas parties. And more importantly, a lot of you are looking forward to your 13-month pay, your Christmas bonus, and many of you have actually received your Christmas or year-end bonus. Sabi nga naming mga talents, mabuti pa kayo. Okay, well, congratulations. I hope you are wise. I hope you are smart. I hope you have wisdom in how you spend your money. Spend it, if you must, on building memories and blessing others. And if you can, save for the future. Pero gumastos din ng konti para sa inyo. It's beginning to not look a lot like Christmas because many of the neighbors and a lot of the streets don't have the decorations for that signify Christmas is here. So if you get a chance, tara, by this weekend, let's all start putting out the paroles, the Christmas trees, etc. Thank you for those of you who are Cignal TV subscribers. Thank you to those of you who watch us via Facebook and on YouTube. We really appreciate the effort. We really appreciate the support. And of course, maraming salamat to those who watch us via the Cignal Play app. Now, also thank you to PLDT for their home fiber optic internet and of course our friend Marco Borlongan. Maraming salamat po. We're almost done with the year and we wouldn't have been able to do it without the PLDT home fiber optic internet. Okay. Now, today we are going to have three guests. We are going to be talking about first the current state of the Department of Public Works and Highways. And its secretary, the return of the comeback of Secretary Manuel Bonoan or Manny Bonoan. And then after that, we will be speaking with two experts and resource person from the University of the Philippines in Diliman regarding certain discoveries or caution that they would like the public to be aware of. It's about what you are eating. Kasi marami po ngayon, we want to be healthy, so we want to eat natural, but is it safe? So a friend of mine, Mr. Bu Chanko, is always reminding us that, you know, yung mga vegetarian diets mo, mag-ingat ka because there are also parasites. So we will talk about that later in the program. But first, let's go to our daily starter. And if you would, Gab, medyo mahaba ito. But I would like all of you to please pay attention. The year is about to end. And maybe it's about time we reflect on this. There comes a time in life when you walk away from all the drama and people who create it. Surround yourself with people who make you laugh and forget the bad and focus on the good. Okay, that's part one. Next, love people who treat you right. Pray for the ones who don't. Life is too short to be anything but happy. Falling down is a part of life. Getting back up is living. I shared this on Facebook. I actually saw it from one post and I shared it and I now share it here as our daily starter because many of us keep trying to save relationships. We try to be Christian about certain relationships or situation. Pero parang awa nyo na. Baka mamaya kampo ni Satanas yung nambuybuisit sa buhay nyo, nang aasar sa inyo, nang dadrama, nagpapagilty sa inyo, iwanan nyo na. Ha? So sabi nga si Matt Monroe ba yung nagsabi nun, walk away please walk away, please go. Okay, so that's our daily starter, just telling you, you deserve more. You deserve to be happy, you deserve to be guilt-free, you deserve to be at peace. So just walk away from the drama and the people that make you unhappy or miserable. And of course, sandali if you're married, work on it. Pinasok mo yan, panindigan mo yan. Kontrata yan, pare ko. Okay? Ako mamaya gamitin niyo akong excuse. Let's now go to the front page of the Philippine Star. December 14, 2023, Thursday. The headline goes, UN General Assembly demands Gaza truce with a vote of ilan na ba yun? 153 in favor and 10 against and 23 abstaining. The UN General Assembly demanded that the parties engage, or the combatants engaged in on the Gaza Strip enter into a truce. Meanwhile, here is another problem that concerns more Filipinos. Metro COVID positivity rate rising according to the Octa Research Group. But that is not just a survey. That is fact as stated by the DOH, by the PGH, by the Quezon City LGU. In fact, last night I was in a gathering of doctors and I was told that certain hospitals have now made it mandatory for people to wear face masks within hospital premises, and there is an increase in pneumonia cases in public hospitals. We are not being alarmist. We are simply trying to make everyone aware that this is not just the season for gift giving. If you are not careful, you might also be disease giving. Baka mamaya kanyo may COVID na kayo, namimigay pa kayo. Okay. Meanwhile, the Philippines has told China, stop harassment in West Philippine Sea. The Philippine government is now firmly calling on China to immediately put an end to its harassment and violation of Philippine sovereign rights over the country's exclusive economic zone in the West Philippine Sea. Summoning Chinese Ambassador Wang Xilian last Monday through the Department of Foreign Affairs, the envoy was told that the Philippines wants China to direct its vessels to cease and desist from its illegal actions against Philippine vessels and to stop interfering in legitimate Philippine government activities or lingering in waters around Ayungin Shoal, etc. Baka kanyo biglang sabihin ng ambassador, uwi na lang kaya ako. Okay. Meanwhile, 2024 budget approved by Congress, unconstitutional? Yan ang question. The ratified version of the proposed 2024 national budget could be considered unconstitutional as the Bicameral Conference Committee added about 450 billion in unprogrammed funds, breaking the 6 trillion mark according to Senate Minority Aquilino Pimentel III. In an interview, Pimentel noted that the approved proposal for unprogrammed funds in the ratified version of the proposed budget was 281.9 billion as indicated in the National Expenditure Program. Sa madaling sabi, sa madaling salita, may paningit, siningitan. Nagkaroon na naman ng insertion. Matapos niyong bakbakan ang Vice President for Confidential Intelligence Funds, ayun, ang sinaksak ninyo, 450 billion lang naman. Meanwhile, MWSS approves water rate hike in Metro Manila. Consumers in the Greater Manila area will see higher water bills starting next year after MWSS approved a rate increase for both Manila Water Services Inc. and Manila Water Company Inc. Yun naman daw po ay to cover costs of inflation. Kasi yung peso natin po, nag-iiba yung value compared to the dollar. We have loans and of course there are investments being made by the companies. So natural lang po and I believe it is part of their contracted arrangement. Meanwhile, pre-registered SIMs for sale in FB Marketplace. Ayun po. If you enter pre-registered SIMs on your FB Market post, you will be able to see that these are for sale online. Yan po. According to the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, in a revelation yesterday. Center photo of the Philippine Star is a photo simulation photo po ito, no? The center photo, students of Toro Hills. Yung nasa gitna, yan, okay. Elementary school in Quezon City and watchdog group Ban Toxics launched yesterday the Iwas Paputok campaign to prevent firecracker injuries during the Christmas and New Year. Ayun, makita po ninyo yung mga participants, meron sila mga bandages, may mga kung ano-ano na gamot, simulating para makita na, ma-remind ang mga kabataan, pag pumutok sa kamay, muka, mata, may tama ka, bata. Meanwhile, Marcos rushes irrigation projects for El Nino. President Marcos yesterday directed state agencies to finish the construction of irrigation facilities and similar projects in 4 months. 4 months to ensure enough water supply as the country braces for El Nino. The president also called out all agencies to make sure that public facilities, particularly hospitals, have ample supply of water because the last thing we need is an outbreak, a disease of an outbreak of a disease like during COVID, tapos mauubusan pa ng tubig panghugas sa mga hospital. Last but not the least, we have senators still cool to cha-cha. According to Senator Aquilino Pimentel, hindi sila hot na hot mag-cha-cha or to support the proposal of certain congressmen to revisit the Constitution. Dahil daw po, baka hindi lang economic provisions ang bisitahin, baka pati na yung property ownership, exploration of natural resources, and of course, from unity to continuity. Okay, that's all the time we have and all the news we have for the front page of the Philippine Star. Let's go for a quick break, and when we return, let's talk to a cabinet member and find out why that DPWH scored high on public perception. We'll be right back here on Agenda.
caused by the recent 7.4 magnitude earthquake in Mindanao is already around 566 million pesos. A huge chunk of the estimated damage covers school buildings, while the rest are roads, bridges, and national government buildings. To prevent this in the future, the DPWH is conducting a post-earthquake assessment of public buildings like schools and government-owned infrastructure. Aside from this, the Public Works Department is also completing some road and infrastructure projects like the Tacloban Bypass Road Extension and 120 classrooms in 21 sites. DPWH, which was listed as one of the top-performing government agencies in a recent Octa Research survey, has had a busy 2023. What are the agency's plans for next year? Let's discuss on today's agenda.
Manuel Bonoan currently serves as Secretary for Public Works and Highways. This is his second time at the position, as he also served as acting DPWH Secretary in 2007. Prior to accepting this appointment, Bonoan was the president and CEO of the San Miguel Corporation Tollways.
Good morning, Secretary Bonoan. I understand you are mobile, so magandang umaga po.
Magandang umaga sa Cito at magandang umaga sa ating mga viewers and listeners. Thank you.
Okay, umpisahan ko na, and maybe you should take advantage of this situation because nasa top 3 kayo in terms of positive public perception, but people are asking, ano ba yung mga accomplishments ng DPWH? Kasi sobra daw kayong below the radar, puro trabaho lang, and not much publicity. But I guess people want to know, what are those accomplishments?
Well, yeah, yes, that's true. Cito, we've just been working silently responding to the needs sa infrastructure development of the country. But sa tingin ko kasi, the department has been responding quite quickly to there has been so many calamities and disasters this year. And the DPWH has been vigilantly responding quickly sa mga pag-assess and the rectification of damaged government facilities. Make sure that mobilities are restored quickly para yung mga assistance and responders can go quickly to the damage, to the calamity-stricken areas, yung mga ganun ba. So, yung mga ganun, and then we continue actually to implement yung mga major projects natin all over the country. So, we're just doing our job actually, Cito. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that, and I've witnessed that yung mga road repairs mabilis bago umangal ang tao and media ay nandoon na yung mga repair teams ninyo. Now, speaking of repairs, what are your findings regarding the earthquake-related damage in Mindanao? Are we now discovering that buildings are built better? Kasi wala yata kaming nabalitaan naman. We did not hear of any total collapse or disastrous collapse of buildings. Parang at the whole, parang mga crack damage, etc.
Yes, I think the buildings have been quite. They are built stronger with good materials that are being used actually. Sa aming assessment, but notwithstanding that, yung latest kuha natin sa Surigao del Sur and other areas in Mindanao like Davao, in Davao areas and Butuan, may mga kuwan pa rin nasira mga buildings, and of course some bridges have suffered some minor cracks. So all in all, Cito, the final assessment that have so far been consolidated, yung sa damage in school buildings, medyo marami-rami pa rin. It amounts to yung repair cost nila that and other public buildings. That will cost almost about 400 million pesos. And yun sa infrastructure naman, we have to, may mga minor cracks, yung mga collapse mountain slopes, and yung mga lang cracks on some of the bridges will amount to another 100 million. So, all in all, nakita namin that the total estimated cost of damages that we need to repair is only about 600 million for everything, yung mga school buildings, public buildings, and yung mga roads and infrastructure as well.
Okay, are you planning or are you considering rolling out a model or a standard para sa mga public schools? Because while nakatayo sila during the earthquake, pagdating naman ang panahon ng bagyo at tag-ulan, doon naman sila natutumba. And the people have said that maybe we should start building our school buildings like bunkers. Ano pong masasabi niyo dyan?
Yes, absolutely. I think meron na kaming agreements, and we have already discussed this with the Department of Education, and that especially in yung vulnerable areas, yung mga frequently visited by typhoons, we will have a different type of school buildings that will be more resilient to the typhoons. Especially, alam mo, sa Tacuan kasi karamihan na nasisira with the roofing, ceilings, etc. Yung mga ganon na nasisira during typhoon. So, sa amin ngayon, the new design that we will be adopted, particularly in the eastern corridors dito sa ating bansa, will be yung konkreto na yung konkreto na yung roofing decks natin para mas matibay na sa mga effect of typhoons. Yun ang natin yung new design natin na isasagawa.
Building na siya, hindi na siya parang bahay. It will be built like a building.
Yes.
Okay. Secretary, if you don't mind, punta naman ako doon sa mga apila, mga kinikwento ng ating mga viewers and mga biyahero. Meron daw yung portion ng road from Bicol to Quezon na kahit motorsiklo hirap nang dumaan, and then may delay yata sa construction. I don't know if you're familiar with this sa dami ng trabaho mo, but ako rin hindi ako nakakuha ng mga detalye, but I've heard this from a number of travelers. The Bicol to Quezon road, medyo para daw lunar landscape.
Yes, I'm familiar with that, and I've been informed about it, Cito, and particularly dito sa boundary ng Quezon and Bicol. Actually, dito sa may Atibunan hanggang Santa Elena and Santa Elena at Culabo, and this has already been programmed for priority program for 2024 kasi this is part of the Maharlika Highway, and we would like to transform Maharlika Highway into a road, because this is the backbone of the national highway, to provide it as a seamless travel all throughout from Cagayan all the way to Zamboanga. This is a major undertaking of this administration to transform it into it's close to what we are saying na para maging freeway lang ng yung Maharlika Highway natin. And a section of that is actually yung what we are saying dito sa may banda ng Quezon and Bicol.
Okay, magandang balita po yun. Now, related to tourism, Secretary, may mga pinupoint out, although this one in particular na experience namin to early this mid-year, Zambales to Pangasinan. Makakapunta ka ng Pangasinan, makakapunta ka ng Zambales, pero mahirap daw tumawid from Zambales to Pangasinan, and it is such a lost opportunity.
roads to this tourist destination area. So I think I think we can together with the Department of Tourism, we can prioritize them so that mabigyan natin din ng better access and roads leading to this area.
Okay, Secretary, may isa pang request dito. Marami raw kayong mga ongoing projects that during official holidays na inaabandon ng mga contractors. Parang nag-aalisa ng mga empleyado or workers para rin like undas, or particularly with Christmas coming up, baka mamaya magkawindang-windang na naman daw sila sa traffic because walang nagbabantay ng mga projects na hindi pinabantayan ng mga contractors.
Well, this is something that kung namin Cito, that yung mga ganyang may mga specific periods na kailangan wag muna tayo magtrabaho kasi because of the potential traffic build-up and congestions that may occur. Pinapa-coordinate namin with the local government's units as well, like for Metro Manila. I think during the itong Christmas season, we are not going to undertake any major road repairs for the season para we don't yung traffic build-up and congestions, especially during this season. And in many parts of the country, ganun din. Yung mga ongoing projects, we will see to it na we will minimize actually the traffic build-up by putting also yung mga directional signs at saka yung mga advisories for to take yung mga alternate roads kung po pwede. And kung minsan, if we have temporary access to the work areas, pinapayagan naman namin.
Okay, now in terms of major projects for 2024, kasi 2023 medyo inabutan kayo kapos oras sa matagal lumabas yung budget. But for 2024, what are your top 3 goals or major projects, Secretary Bonoan?
Well, one of the biggest and parang most ambitious project that will start in 2024 is the implementation or start of construction of yung Cavite-Bataan interlink bridge that will cross Manila Bay. You know, this is a big project that is going to bago siguro ang landscape of Metro Manila when this is completed, but it will take some time. This is a 32-kilometer bridge that will feature 2 iconic structures there in along this project, connecting Cavite and Bataan. 32 kilometers to. So,
Secretary, who is going to build the bridge? Kasi nabasa ko ngayon, nakita ko pa sa balita, and it's 32 kilometers as you pointed out. It's a major, it's a trillion yata yan, funded by the ADB ba? And who's going to build it? The DPWH?
DPWH will be the one to oversee the implementation of this. But I think we will be bidding it out internationally, yung mga contractors and consultants. So we'll be doing the actual construction and managing the construction by middle of next year. So the construction will start then by that time.
Okay,
So,
now
it's going to
that's
be,
your biggest project. Ano pa yung mga iba?
we are also planning to dito sa Cagayan Valley. The perennial problem there is yung Dalton Pass, which has been closed every time during the rainy season. So it impedes yung flow of traffic dito sa mga agriculture production areas natin dito. So we are now finalizing the agreements with the Japan International Cooperation Agency to construct a realignment of Dalton Pass by building siguro I think about 6 kilometers of tunneling works in those areas para mas maganda at mas secured at saka environmentally good para sa traffic in Cagayan Valley area.
Sustainable mobility. Last question ko na lang, Secretary. What about dams? Kasi sinasabi ni President Bongbong Marcos,
Absolutely.
we need to build up our water reservoir irrigation system. Ang DPWH ba na-involved sa construction of dams?
Yes, Cito. Yes, this is one area. This is one priority area which the President has been advocating actually to yung water resource management program natin, and we have convergence with the Department of Agriculture and National Irrigation Administration that we will be starting 2024. We are going to start the construction of several water impounding areas, what we call dams, water reservoirs, including small water impounding dams, or yung mga sort of yung mga yung mga rivers para we restore them and make them usable for magiging flood control facility, magiging water supply source and irrigation for irrigation, most particularly to support yung food security program of this administration.
Okay, any particular dam or project, may specific big project ba in that area of concern?
There are actually several proposed sites already that has been identified by the Department of Agriculture and the National Irrigation Administrations, particularly in Central Luzon. It will help also mitigate yung flooding problems nila in Central Luzon. At the same time, it will be used actually to irrigate many of the rice-producing areas in Nueva Ecija, Bulacan, and Pampanga.
Ayun. Okay, well, that's good news, Secretary Bonoan, and I hope pag nagka-tiyempo kayo, nagka-oras kayo, we could see each other on the Zoom chat, or at least makita naman yung good looks nyo ng mga viewers namin. Thank you very much for your time, and congratulations for being one of the top 3 most admired or at least respected organizations for accomplishments. Secretary Manny Bonoan.
Thank you, Cito, and thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, God bless you, sir. Okay, that's Secretary Manuel Manny Bonoan of the DPWH. They came in number 3 in terms of accomplishments, public perception. So medyo quiet lang sila pero tuloy-tuloy ang trabaho, and we do hope that we see all of those projects come to fruition because we need the dams, we need the tunnels in the Cagayan Valley, and of course marami pang iba. We'll be right back after a quick break here on Agenda.
As the saying goes, watch out what you eat. Scientists are urging the public to thoroughly wash and cook fresh produce and seafood to prevent parasitic infections. Researchers from the UP Diliman's Institute of Biology found that Toxoplasma gondii, the parasite that causes toxoplasmosis, is fairly common in vegetables and oysters that they sampled from local markets in central Luzon. Among the vegetables tested were lettuce, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, and mung bean sprouts. The study found that 6 out of 60 or 10% of the collected vegetable samples contain T. gondii. While those who intake the said parasite exhibit no symptoms, T. gondii can cause flu-like symptoms like fever, headache, and muscle aches. In severe cases, it can also cause inflammation of the brain and blurry vision. What can the public do to further protect themselves from parasites in their food? Let's discuss that further on today's agenda.
Dr. Marie-Christine Obusan is an associate professor at the Institute of Biology in UP Diliman. Obusan's work focuses on the microbial ecology of aquatic systems. Cielo Paraoan-Villareal is a PhD student at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, specializing in microbiology. She is also an assistant professor at the Bulacan State University.
Good morning, ladies. Welcome to the program agenda.
Magandang
Good morning
umaga po.
Pagpasensya nyo na, no? Kasi masyado ko Inglesero kung minsan eh. Okay. But magandang umaga, and siguro it would be helpful if because I got the email from your group regarding this discovery. Siguro mas mabuti kung bigyan natin ng konting background, Dr. Christine and Cielo. One of these days, I'm sure I will be calling you Dr. Cielo also once you're finished with your PhD program. But as far as all of this is concerned, yung Institute of Biology in UP, meron pala yung research arm, etc. Because most of the time, we only think of them in terms of faculty, pag Diliman. Correct, Christine?
Yes, sir. Actually, the Institute of Biology, like the other institutes in UP Diliman and particularly in College of Science, is a research institution. If I'm not mistaken, we have around at least 25 research laboratories in the institute, and the faculty are engaged not only in teaching but also in extension work and research. So we do pursue our respective research agenda. In the case of our laboratory, medyo mahaba po yung pangalan ng lab namin. It's the Microbial Ecology of Terrestrial and Aquatic Systems Lab, or METAS Lab. We study drinking water resources and microorganisms that we find in animals, in other samples from the environment or from nature, and we detect and study these microorganisms for their potential pathogenicity o yung kanila pong kakayahan na magdulot ng sakit, and also we test their effect on quality of water, for example, in relation also to other environmental reservoir like soil, for example. And also we study interactions between host and microorganisms. At isa nga po sa napag-aralan namin ay itong tinatawag na Toxoplasma gondii, which is a single cell parasite. Technically, it is a protozoan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now paano naman na-involve itong si Cielo? Cielo, you're doing your PhD program in UP, but how did you get involved in this project?
Good morning again, sir. So actually, I am very interested in environmental microbiology. And I actually listened to a talk of Dr. Obusan, and eventually I asked her to be my PhD advisor. And luckily, she accepted me. So later on, we focus on Toxoplasma, as this disease is actually, as this protozoan parasite is actually not very common in the Philippines. So it's not being studied here in the Philippines. There are few studies. However, Very limited only.
Baka KSP siya, kulang siya sa pansin, pero sasakit pala ulo at katawan mo pag dumami ang toxoplasma gondii na yan. Now, Doc Christine, so merong interest, pinag-aralan ninyo itong toxoplasma gondii, but I don't think it's just a question of being a thesis topic for Cielo. Apparently, what you're discovering is of serious public concern.
Yes. Actually, the interest on toxoplasma studies started when I detected them in our dolphins and whales. So I had this study of detecting the parasite dun po sa ating mga dolphins and whales na matatagpuan sa Pilipinas. We had our publication on that last 2015, and then we started to question how prevalent is this parasite in the Philippines now that we are already seeing them in our marine mammals, for example, na nasa dagat. And worldwide, it has been reported that a relatively large population of humans are infected with this parasite. But for most of the infected individuals, they are asymptomatic. Ang concern po dito ay doon sa immunocompromised. So we have immunocompromised populations categorized as one of those vulnerable populations. So the concern on toxoplasmosis, which is the disease caused by Toxoplasma gondii, is more on the vulnerable populations such as the immunocompromised and the pregnant, for example.
Yung mga buntis, yung mga may cancer,
Yung mga HIV positive po, yung mga seniors natin,
o kaya yung mga baby, mga bata na
Opo.
talagang mahina ang resistensya pag kumakain, when they eat raw vegetable or yung mga mga hindi naman ayoko sabihin Japanese kasi may mga mahilig kumain ng hindi masyadong luto.
Yes, and in the case of this parasite, there are 3 routes of transmission. First, yung tinatawag po nating vertical transmission, yung nasasalin galing sa ina, papunta doon sa anak, or from mother to child, or pregnant female to the fetus. Yung other routes of transmission po ay through consumption of food or water contaminated with the Toxoplasma gondii oocyst. So ito pong oocyst, isa to sa stages ng parasite which can contaminate soil or water, for example. Kapag itong tubig at lupa ay na-contaminate ng dumi ng pusa. Nanggagaling po itong oocyst doon sa dumi ng pusa. Kasi ito pong parasite na ito, it has a wide range of mammalian hosts. Humans as mammals, for example, nakikita rin po ito sa mga aso, sa mga baboy. Those are the mammalian hosts which serve as tinatawag nating intermediate host. Pero ang tinatawag po nating definitive host nito ay ang mga pusa, kung saan nangyayari yung sexual reproduction. At ang resulta nga po noon ay ang tinatawag nating Toxoplasma gondii oocyst. So ngayon po kapag dumumi yung pusa, the feces, the fecal material may be laden with Toxoplasma gondii oocyst, and that can contaminate soils and water bodies.
Ayun, kasi nangyayari nga po yan, mga kaibigan. I have a personal experience discovering extremely high levels of E. coli in groundwater. Kanya sa probinsya po, kami gumagamit na ng 4-stage filter na may kasunod na 2-stage filter, tapos inaabangan pa ng UV light na nauso nung panahon ng COVID. Now, there are 3 researchers involved in this. There is you, Dr. Marie-Christine Obusan, and then Cielo, Paraoan-Villareal, and Ren Mark Villanueva, who could not join us today. Now, Cielo, what did you discover? Because, it's one thing to be interested in a subject or a protozoan, pero pag gagawin mo ng thesis yan for PhD, excuse me, madugo na yan. Ano ang na-discover mo? How did this put you to the test?
Upon the discovery or upon the detection po of the protozoan parasite, so we are also after its genetic diversity. So given po that the Toxoplasma is the only species in its in the genus Toxoplasma, so we are after po the genetic diversity which was detected po in the food sample. So these genotypes po will could lead to a possible or a new genotype or similar to other genotypes which was detected in Asia and other regions of the world. And we are also considering the One Health approach, which involves collaborative efforts across human, animal, and environmental health. And of course, understanding these interconnections between these samples or these domains can lead to a more comprehensive studies or strategies, of course, for controlling Toxoplasma gondii.
Okay, mga kaibigan, baka sabihin naman yun, naman, Kuya Cito, nosebleed yung pinagsasabi ni Cielo. May I remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that when we got hit by COVID, we all had a continuing education on genetic alteration or transformation of the COVID virus. May mga naging H1, naging ganito, ganon. There were so many types of COVIDs. That's why me personally, I have 5 vaccines, vaccination, because it evolves and it transforms. So, Cielo, you were able to study with Doc Christine and with Renmark the transformation, the genotype. Meron ba tayong red alert dito or teka, paano bang i-control ito?
For the control po, same pa din naman po, we have to properly cook our food and we have to properly wash the vegetables. So, just to, for the vulnerable groups naman po, we should, in a way, stay away from cats as the cats are the definitive host of this protozoan parasite.
Okay, lalo na yung disposal, Doc Christine, of the beddings, litter ng mga pusa.
Opo, kasama nga po sa mga napag-alaman namin tinatawag na risk factors for having the parasite or possibly for infection ay yung pagkakaroon ng pets na maaring infected nitong parasite. Dagdagan ko lang din po yung sinabi ni Cielo, makakatulong rin po yung paghuhugas ng maayos in running water. For our vegetables and for our seafood, kagaya nung nasabi ni Cielo, yung sample po namin, for example, ay yung oyster, makakatulong po yung pagluluto ng maayos. For example, the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is recommending a temperature of 63 degrees Celsius, at least 63 degrees Celsius, para mapatay po ang parasitiko na ito. So, good hygiene, paghuhugas ng kamay, parating paghuhugas ng kamay, lalo na po kapag may interaction tayo sa pets na maaring infected ng parasite, pagpapanatili ng kalinisan, yun, siguraduhin natin na yung gagamitin nating tubig ay at least pasado sa quality ng microbial standard. At yan nga, yung maayos na paghuhugas ng ating mga pagkain at maayos rin na pag-iimbak ng pagkain based on the types, kung hilaw
it did not occur to me, Cielo, Christine, na pati yung talaba, di pati natulya, pwede palang magkaroon ng protozoa na yan.
Opo, in fact, pag-aaralan din po namin ang mga tahong sa mga darating na buwan. Kung sila ba ay maaari ding kontaminado ng parasitiko na ito. Mula sa tubig where we can find them.
Yeah, but Doc Christine, okay, let's talk about how to process or to clean food materials to prevent this contamination. You said running water. there are people who just soak their vegetables, binababad lang para raw ma-dilute kung ano man chemicals, and then babanlawan. So it has to be, kasi alam ko, may nakita ako sa Japan talagang binabrush niya yung gulay niya Sabi ko, OC naman masyado itong taon to, binabrush pati yung lettuce.
Yes, personally po kasi based on our knowledge on possible means of contamination, I think makakatulong na hugasan sa running water kasi kung kung ibabad mo, papalitan mo ulit yung tubig na ginamit mo doon sa pambabad so that you can get rid of other debris and parasites na napunta doon sa tubig.
Yun bang ihaw kilawin, Cielo? I'm sure napapakain ka ng gusto dahil dyan sa kaka-aral mo niyang thesis mo na yan. Yung bang pag-ihaw, kilawin, soaking in vinegar, does it help kill the protozoan?
Actually po, nagiging inactivated lang po yung mga oocyst once po talaga na sinubject siya to temperatures like 63 degrees Celsius po. So vinegar po doesn't inactivate the oocyst. So you could consume pa din po the oocyst, and once consumed po 5 to 10 days, it would sporulate and would form the tachyzoids, and then that would cause po the symptoms or the disease.
Okay, which is why my friend refuses to eat raw fish, sushi, etc. And he refuses to eat uncooked vegetables. Sabi niya, yung mga salad ninyo, Beltran, steam mo o kaya i-microwave mo. But does microwave kill them, Doc Christine?
It depends on the temperature and it depends on the microorganism that you want to kill. So basta po naabot natin yung temperature na sinasabi ng mga eksperto, I think we can kill the parasite. And in the case of meat, kasi maaari din po siyang matransmit sa meat, there is a particular stage of the parasite which can be consumed through meat, yung tinatawag bradyzoid or latent form of parasite. Kailangan yung init rin ay what they call this, distributed throughout the meat. Hindi pwedeng like i-grill mo lang yung isang part tapos yung kabila medyo hilaw. Pero ayaw naman po natin magpanic yung publiko. We don't want to be alarmist in this case.
Yeah.
Depende po kasi ito sa ano rin, yung sa degree of contamination tsaka sa immune system ng tao.
Binabalik lang naman natin sa panahon ng ating mga ninuno, ating mga lolo at lola, that you should wash your vegetables properly, wash the fruits. Yung iba sa atin, kinikis-kis na lang yung mansana sa damit tas kinakain na, aray ko po. Anyway, congratulations to the good work and research that you, Christine, Cielo, and Renz are doing. And please keep in touch with Agenda because it is groups like you that we would like to give airtime to so we can elevate the conversation and para rin mabalik natin yung tamang paglilinis at pag-asikaso ng pagkain. Thank you very much, Doc Christine Obusan, future Dr. Cielo Paraoan-Villareal, pati ba si Ren Mark Villanueva, future PhD rin. Okay.
Sana po.
Okay, so thank you very much, folks, and God bless your work. Stay in touch with us.
Thank you
very much.
Okay, that's Doc Marie Christine Obusan, Associate Professor at the Institute of Biology in Diliman and focusing on microbial ecology of aquatic systems and terrestrials. Okay, and Cielo, Emar, Paraoan-Villareal, PhD student, and Ren Mark Villanueva. Let's now go to our closing blessing for the week. And it comes from the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verses 4 and 5. I sought the Lord, and He answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to Him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Remember what your parents taught you. Wash your hands, wash your food, okay? And we hope that you stay healthy. Please keep it here on One News.